Welcome to the Nurses Break Room. It's not a place we get to visit very often in real life, but you're always welcome to come and recharge here. And while you're at it, head to selfcareisn'tselfish.com and grab your free copy of my book, Self-Care Isn't Selfish, The Compassionate Nurse's Step-by-Step Guide to Personalized Stress Relief. It's packed with simple, effective strategies to help you prioritize your needs without guilt so you can feel energized, focused, and ready to take on the day. Grab yours at selfcareisn'tselfish.com. Hello and welcome back to the Nurses Break Room with Jenny Lytle, RN. And I am super excited to announce that it's a big day. It's the start of a new season of life. I have been working on call overnights, a few nights a week, doing hospice on call. And I've been working a full-time day job since September in home care. And I really realized that it was time for a change. And for me, what that ended up looking like was letting go of my day job. And I did that for a variety of reasons. For one, it just really wasn't a good fit necessarily for me. It was something that at first I felt like I was failing at it. And then I realized, no, I can do this job, but it's not what I'm meant to be doing. And if you've been around a while, you know that hospice is my passion, has been since I started almost 21 years ago. And I love the time that I have with patients and families. But I also realize that that's not what I'm meant to do all the time. And I've known that for a while. And so a big part of that is because I am incredibly passionate about working with nurses, working with hospice agencies who love what they do, who provide such a vital service, and also have some challenges with keeping staff that is happy and able to perform at their best and really be there, because it does take a toll. Hospice work is not easy. It's something that most of us that start in hospice, we do that because we feel called to do that. And that's also why some of us stay, even when we feel like we're losing big parts of ourselves, because we feel that calling. And so I have known for years now that I went through a period of burnout. I went through a period of really trying to figure out who I was again. And the reason that happened, there was a variety of reasons, but a lot of that was, I didn't have great boundaries and I didn't take care of myself because I was so busy taking care of everybody else. And in the beginning, I loved that. And there's a part of me that still loves that, that's who I am. And that's probably who you are too. You are probably someone who feels called to give and give and give. And then you find that, oh my gosh, it's just, I don't feel like I have any time to de-stress. I don't feel like I am able to sleep. I'm not able to turn it off anymore. And that's a slippery slope. And I get it because it's so hard to find time to fit yourself in. And you think, okay, well, I'll do it later, right now it's a really busy time. This is a lie that I tell myself all the time, that I told myself for years. I found myself saying the same things, some of the same things to myself in my regular job, my day job. And it's just like there's always going to be those busy seasons. There's always going to be something else that comes up. And so we've got to figure out, how do we take care of ourselves while we take care of others? Because it can't be an either or. We can neglect ourselves for a while, but it catches up to us. And sometimes in little ways and sometimes in big ways. In my book, I talk about what happened with my mom. My mom passed away suddenly. She had some health issues, yes. But I truly believe that her death, when it happened, the way it happened, was a result of her lack of self-care, her lack of putting herself on her list of priorities. She was so busy taking care of everybody else. And that included me and my family. And, it's easy to let things like that happen. Um, all that to say, I would be honored to, walk alongside you to help you navigate the road to being able to fit yourself in, to fit in your own needs while you are caring for others. I know what it's like to love hospice. You know, when I started, at my first hospice company, it was the first time that I'd always liked my jobs. I liked to work. I liked aspects of them, but it's the first time that I really felt like I loved what I did. I loved going to work. I would wake up and I would be excited. I'd get to work early because I loved going to work. I loved the work I did. It mattered. And I knew that I was doing something that was so important, and it really filled my cup too. And I know from the conversations that I've had with hospice nurses as I've been doing this hospice well-being project, that so many of you are feeling the same thing. You started in hospice for a reason, whether that's because you had a family member that was dying and it was this beautiful hospice experience, or maybe it was somebody that you cared about and it was not a great experience and you thought it's got to be better than this. Maybe it's you were doing things that seemed kind of hospice-like, or, in the end of life realm at other nursing jobs that you were doing, and you thought, maybe this is something that I'm meant to do. But then it starts to be a little much. And you start to feel like, I don't know that I can keep doing this. And most of the time, it's not the patients, it's not the families necessarily, it's not the death, it's all of it together. It's the charting, it's the staying later, it's the not having any time to do the things that you want to do. And if by some miracle you happen to have the time, you don't have the energy. And I get all of that. And my approach, the way I love to work with people, is by helping you see ways that you can fit in little bits of time, because it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to take a lot of time or effort or money, but it does have to take a little bit of planning and forethought. And so I am inviting you to join me on this journey, whether that means continuing to listen to the podcast, whether it means following some of the things that I'm doing on social media. I would love it if you would grab one of my free resources on my website, jennylytle.com. And I've got some other things in the works that are going to be coming up soon, different ways that I can help support you so that you can continue doing the work that you feel called to do, that you love to do, or at least one time loved to do, without sacrificing all of the other things that matter so much to you. And if you are a hospice nurse and you would like to give me some of your insights, I would love to just sit down, have a conversation with you. We'll do it over Zoom. You don't have to do anything special or fancy. It's just a way for me to get to know you a little more, for me to get to understand and then be able to share some of the things that hospice nurses are going through and saying, and then working on a solution to those things. So you can schedule a time to meet with me. You can go to Calendly, CALENDLY.com/Jenny Lytle RN. And you can just go there and schedule a time. We will talk, and I would love to get to know you a little more. Now, until next time, remember that you're not alone in any of this. And remember that self-care isn't selfish. It's the only way we can continue to care for others and live our best lives. See you soon.
Disclaimer. Although I am a registered nurse, the medical and health information contained in this podcast is provided for general information and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. Therefore, before taking any actions based upon such information, I encourage you to consult with appropriate professionals. I do not provide any specific medical or health advice, and the use of or reliance on any information contained in this podcast is solely at your own risk.